Good morning, traders, and God bless. I am Ricky Gaspard, your host for this pre-market session. Each morning, we'll be watching this volume spike columns in all 5 of these scans. Once we see a volume spike trigger, we will click on it. We come over and check the current bar volume, which is the very last candle. We want to see lots of volume in this stock moving up and down. Nothing pausing, nothing sitting still. We want to see a battle going on. Once we confirm that, we come over to the Dominator Master, make sure that we have green bars breaking above this yellow average volume line. These are buyers coming in. We also want to see the My Blessing indicator turning north and green as well. As long as they are green, they are buyers. If you are in a stock and it starts pulling back, you may see some red come in. That's the sellers taking profit, or they may end up just selling off the entire stock. So we see a spike, we check the volume. Is these bars clicking upwards and green? Is this line moving green? That's when you want to make your decision to get in or not. If you are a new trader, make sure that you watch these live streams over and over and over before you even attempt to make a trade. Do it the old-fashioned way. Write it down on paper, your entry, your exit, and your results while you're watching these live streams. If you are profitable on paper, then change over to real money, but start with small share size, anywhere between 1 and 10 shares. If you are still profitable on real money with small share size, the only thing you need to do to increase your profits is increase your share size. I'm also not a financial advisor. Reach out to the proper authorities before you use any of my indicators or take any of my advice. And also make sure that your active trader TIF is set to EXT or you won't get a trade in. And thank you for joining me this morning. As we open this session, we are watching a new setup. This is a 15-minute chart. You're going to be watching for these chart bubbles to pop in. Once these numbers come in, you want to see 85, 95, and 100 before you decide to get in. And you're going to see a smooth transition, hopefully up to the top. And you get out when you start seeing this candle getting smaller in size, as long as the percentages are reducing or getting smaller. Time to go. Let's see what happens here with BLNE. We're watching for percentages right here. We want to see 95 and 100 to push it up. And they should lock in with there as long as they're just blinking in and out. We don't want to take a trade. We want to see a good footing with this chart bubble. We want it locked in. It's going to run. If you haven't did this setup before, I highly suggest you watch one first before you get in. Right now, I think this one's already played out. This is usually how it goes. If the stock runs up before our market opens, it usually comes back down or does nothing. But it could continue, but we got to wait on a chart bubble. Not seeing any percentage numbers rising. BLNE is holding the price up here at this level. The buyers could come back in and drive it even higher, but we have to wait to see if that happens. We'll keep an eye on BLNE down here. If we see a spike occurring, we'll revisit that one. And good morning, YouTubers and Discord members. You won't believe how well this works for us. We knocked it out of the park yesterday morning in the pre-market session. It keys you right in on the movement of the stock. I got the percentages tuned in pretty tight. When they show up, it's usually going to move one direction or the other. Looks like we're off to a quiet start this morning. You'll figure out all of the whys while you watch one take off. You will see why this setup works. I know it sounds ridiculous to scalp on a 15-minute, but you got to believe this setup. It works. I'm telling you. You haven't seen anything like this. I am a coder, and I can come up with some whoppers. I try to make it as simple as I can for the beginning trader. Even the advanced people were freaking out over this, but it works. Can't prove it to you till it happens, so you got to be patient. T-Ball, you'll get everything up here except for the My Blessing unless you purchase it. And you will not get these buy and sell bubbles, but I do have an alternative. It's called Profit Slayer. It pretty much performs very well also. So you'll get all these volume profile lines. You'll get this indicator with your membership. You get enough to do what we do each morning as a member. What I do is I've been trading since 1990s, a long time ago. On Thinkorswim, I've been on it that long. My system is searching for buyers and sellers. That's what drives the market, not an indicator. The buyers and sellers move the indicators. If you find them first, you have a lot better chance of making a higher profit. So I key in on buyers and sellers. That's what these percentages are. It lets me know what percent higher the buyers are than the normal volume. And once one fires up, then I start counting how many buyers and sellers are in each candle with these percentages. Right now, there's more sellers in this candle than buyers. And because I slowed the time frame down to the 15-minute, they lock in as the sellers are taking profit, driving it down or driving it up. There is a $79 a month membership fee that is easily covered on a trade once you catch on. Rob, we have a support department that'll help you get that done. All right, we got one flying here. I don't particularly like penny stocks. I prefer something with some dollars behind it, but it still works. Just that these cheap penny stocks, they can fly up and drop down just as fast as they went up. So I don't trust these. A lot of people can play them. I'm just not a penny player, at least not a successful one. My odds on here about 50-50, maybe 60-40 at times of losing. Just never cared for the volatility within these cheap stocks. And I'm sure many people can attest to that. They will eat your lunch if you're not fast. And the older I get, the slower I get. Pushing up higher, 98%. Need to see these numbers stay there so that it'll keep pushing. The sweet number is 90 and 100. And usually it'll hit those pretty easily. 90 will move it up. 90 will move it down. And if there's many buyers on board, this number will lock in and that stock will just take off and keep going. Right now, we just have a penny stock jumping up and down. Greg B, make sure you have your gear icon and look on the tabs where you come to the list and make sure only Fit Studies is checked. I can't get into all that right now, but if you need help with that later, hit support or send me a message. It's a simple setup, just something you haven't clicked right. FSTL, it hasn't been fixed. Thinkorswim needs to get on that pretty quick. You got it, HMZ. And when it happens, we wait for it to lock in as long as it's not blinking back and forth on this label up here. This label is fine-tuned to those bubbles as well. When those numbers hit above 85, this label's going to turn green. So when this label's green, I instantly look down here to see what the percentage is and is it locked in. If it is, I'm taking a trade. I am in South Texas. Down between Houston and Galveston. This is only on Thinkorswim. I can code Thinkorswim. I'm not a computer coder. I am a Thinkorswim coder. There's much difference there. I've learned the ins and outs of this platform for 30 years. And yes, just like any other platform, they all got their bugs, right? But there are not enough bugs to make me lose money. I may lose some profit, but not all the profit. It works good enough for me. It should work good enough for everybody. I lived in Santa Fe for about 12 years. I know exactly where that is. I actually graduated Santa Fe, but that was so far back I don't remember. See, what this setup will keep you from doing is jumping in on little candles like this that end up failing because we don't have enough buyer support here in this candle to keep driving it up like we want to see it go. So it'll prevent a lot of false entries. That is absolutely right, TK. The stock must have a battle going on right here. If it doesn't, there's no sense in buying the stock. Right now, we're just chugging along. There's no great fight going on. There's just a few people coming in and out. These numbers are not flying. Not seeing any percentages moving. I don't know why this scan's not loading. Let me try to manually start it. Think I got it going. If you are a premium member, I am live 4.5 to 5 hours each morning, 5 days a week. I give a free hour on YouTube on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can always use Thinkorswim as your charting platform if you trade on another platform. We have a few buyers trying to come into OSRH, but we're waiting for these percentages to lock in before we take a position. %, 92, 94, 99, 100. Prices rising. 90%, 96, 100, 95s. Not a whole lot of volume in here, or it would be rising faster. 98, 98. Numbers are locked in. They're pretty high. They're dropping off now. The buyers may come back. That could have been just a few profit takers. Yep, they're getting out of it. It's not moving like they want. A few more buyers coming in. Need these numbers to get way up there, 95 and 100. There we go. This tells you immediately when they are running to try to drive it up. Buyers are in there heavy. We should have had a lot more volume than this by now. Buyers are trying to keep it up. They want to drive it higher. We need some higher numbers here. 95s, 96. Pushing a little higher, 95, 90s. Looks like we're spiking up and they're taking profit as soon as we get a spike up. Losing the momentum, down in the 80s. Yeah, you might can see it on another platform, but you don't know if they're buyers or sellers. You just see volume. You don't actually know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. Buyers are coming back in to try to drive it higher. $98, $97s. $99, pushing a little higher. 100%. Any more doubts about scalping on a 15-minute? I think I've proven my point. Profit aim into that, brother. I absolutely love this setup. 93s, 95. Duvin, if you end up with multiple monitors when you do this, because you can actually detach these screens and put them on your favorite stocks. If you had 5 or 6 monitors, then you could just drag each one over as you're waiting for percentages. It's a wonderful thing to have the proper setup. So the more monitors you can afford, I run 8 36-inch monitors. So the more you can set up, the easier it is. I like just looking around. There we go. They're really running with this one. So the more monitors you can afford to get set up properly, the less clicking you have to do to get somewhere. Just like any of my other new indicators, you have to learn them, right? You have to watch them, get used to what they're doing. You will figure out when you need to click. It's not that hard. I just gave a good demonstration. I didn't buy anything on this one. I should have, but I didn't. I spend more of my time training you guys, displaying indicators, especially when they're new ones. I do make good profit, though. I make good money. I don't care if I miss a trade or two. Looks like this party's over. Now we wait on another one to start spiking. All of these stocks come to us. We're set up with the proper scans. So we just wait on the next one to start spiking. That tells me, hey, the buyers have moved over to this one. So as these numbers are moving, we go look. First thing I want to look at is this volume. Do we have enough? We have a 95%, but we don't have a battle going on. The volume just froze. So this would not be a play. Lost trader, that's because he's not a coder. And he's right. It's just that I figured out something that's very special about volume, how to track volume, how to determine if it's buyers and sellers that they don't know about. That's why Thinkorswim says this indicator does not exist. Yeah, well, he's wrong. You see it working right before your eyes. $98, $99, $100. A few more people coming in, the price will rise. We just don't have the volume. We don't have the battle going on to really drive this one. We do have a good percentage of buyers, but there's not really an attack going on to drive this stock faster. Lost trader, don't believe everybody you get on the telephone. They may be from another country, don't know anything, never traded before in their life. They're there to answer the phone. When you ask a question on Thinkorswim support, they're probably looking up on a list for an answer for you. But if you want to believe them, that's fine. I'm showing you that there is. Well, maybe you ought to bring him over here and let him watch. Or her. I talk to support all the time. You can even have him call me, contact me. I don't care. I'll prove him wrong. There's always a back door. Always. There ain't a back door. There's definitely knowledge. Milo, you wait for these percentages to get up in the 95s, 100s, 90s. 85 is the trigger where it's going to move one way or the other. Above 95, it starts moving. The higher above 95, the stronger the run. You got that right, David. Waiting on volume spikes. We are waiting for our next stock to start moving. We don't have any volume in this one. We do have a minor spike. Slowly creeping up. Lost Trader, we're not here to convince you. Just attend these live sessions and watch each and every day. The system itself will teach you a little thing or two. You know, I'm not manipulating these stocks, right? I can't move them. All I can do is read them, and I do that with coding. I didn't trade yesterday after pre-market, and I didn't buy Tesla in pre-market. I had a busy day yesterday, and I'm not seeing any slack time for today, so I may not get to trade past 9:30 again. Lost Trader, you say you have my indicators and you got them for a friend. Did you know that's theft? All of my coding is copyright. Each individual coder, if he codes something, it's automatically copyright by that coder. So maybe your friend is not so trustworthy. I don't care if you're testing or not, it's theft. Yeah, they're on YouTube. Yeah, well, you think not really. You really sound like you're here just to diss me. That's what I'm picking up on your conversation. Onward through the fog. I'm done with it. Hey, it's their loss, not ours. I don't care. He can say what he wants to say. If he gets out of hand, he'll be out of here quick. John, I just fired it up yesterday. On the very first day I launched this thing, there was hundreds of dollars made on the premium side. I wouldn't even doubt that some of them made a few thousand if they stuck with it all day long. %, flying, ICCT, volume starting to pick up, 100% moving up, 98%. Again, we're on another penny stock that I don't trade. So these can drop fast. They can drop faster than any indicator. That's why I don't do penny stocks. Thank you, John. You're okay, loss trader. Everybody has a right to voice their opinion. I got my big boy pants on. You're not going to bother me none. I'm one of those, if it's too good to be true, it's not true, right? I'm that guy too. That's why I highly suggest you attend these live streams and let the system itself prove it to you. I don't have to prove it to you. I'm here to help you make money. If you don't want to participate, that's your choice. It's actually the flow of volume. It's not a number. We want to see an attack going on. And if there's an attack going on, this number's really flying. Lots of volume flying by. So it's not a certain number. It's the volume flow itself. Ants on candy. That's right. Drop a piece of candy on the ground, the ants start building up. The next thing you know, you can't see the candy, you see the ants. That's what we want to see here. Good job, Terry. I should have kept it on the chart, Terry. I missed it. When you see something like this, the fear of this stock dropping does not exist. You can see the percentages are high, the price is continuing to climb. You can always watch level 2 to see if there's a lot of sellers coming on board. I don't think it's needed though. You can just watch the candle start shrinking. Yeah, well, I actually missed this trade while we were in the debate. That's why I don't like distractions while I'm trying to trade. But I felt it was necessary to address the issue. And once again, I don't mind people having doubts. It comes with it. If I don't believe something, I'm going to say it too. And every one of you know we get one every now and then. There's always a naysayer. Sometimes I'm that naysayer. We're all guilty. Waiting on processors, Wilson. Not for the site, for the live streaming. I want my own streaming server. I don't want to pay a rental fee per subscriber or per viewer. Rather own the thing and get it over with. Waiting on volume spikes to occur. I see numbers. I don't see numbers moving. This is the occasional buyer stepping in to buy something. T-Ball, there's a transition there. We've got to get off of one credit card company onto another one. I'm also changing the processor on the credit cards. I don't like the current one. So it'll be a member at a time, I think. Aaron, if you look over in announcements, you'll find 2 videos. If you need help putting them on the chart, that's going to be a support department question. I can talk about trading. They do the setup stuff for me. Good job, Terry. NWTG, 100% flying. I'm a little bit late on it. It didn't pop in till late. Watching for percentages to see if it's going to continue. Right now, they are profit taking from the previous run up. See if the buyers step back in here to drive it higher. 100%. A lot of profit takers up in this area. Keep driving it back down. The buyers are trying to get through them. 100% pushing through. 219. So you had a good idea. This one may run. A lot better idea than you had before this label. 94, 100%, spiking up to 227. Hoxton, it's going to be hard to give this one up, brother. It's pretty accurate. I may be stuck on this one for a while, hopefully forever. 100% pushing up higher. This doesn't happen on the more expensive stocks. These cheaper stocks, they have sellers waiting. Everybody's trying to make quick profit. These things are going to spike up when the price is cheap, and they're going to spike back down. The higher you can afford to purchase a stock, the safer your trade will always be. I prefer to trade $10 and higher, but I do trade these cheaper stocks when they are more solid and the run is more convincing. This one seems to have a lot of sellers at the top end. Well, this is kind of convincing me to like the 15 minutes better than the 5 minute. I'm loving this thing. 100%. After the profit takers, the buyers come back in and drive it back up. A lot of sellers in this area. If the buyers can keep hitting this, they will eventually get through all of these sellers and this stock may run. But right now, we still have a lot of sellers up here. Good job, traders, all making profit on these bounces. Looks like this party's over. Hoxton, you're right. That's the way I trade. I actually have the tick chart, the 1 minute, 5 minute, and the 15 minute up on another screen. But since I launched this yesterday, I haven't looked over at that other screen. I haven't found a need to yet. What I need to be watching is that little bubble that pops in. All right, YouTubers, I hope you made a little bit of money or at least tried or at least watched what I'm doing over here because it's very important. It just keeps getting better as the months go by. I keep programming. I keep coming up with these. I don't know how I'm coming up with them. By the Lord's great blessing, I guess I'll leave it at that because that's really what it is. But I land on some good ones sometimes by coding. So I highly encourage you. If you're interested and you liked what you seen this morning, there's a label up at the top of the chat on YouTube. Click that label. Join us over on Discord. Then click the upgrade button on Discord. It'll take you over to WAP so that you can become a premium member. You get over 60 plus scans that I have custom coded, over 30 plus indicators. And the indicators change from time to time. Not very often, but they do change. But we keep the same strategy, just different indicators. I'm trying to code something that makes it simple for everybody. I think I'm getting very close, even for the beginning trader. So if you like what you've seen this morning, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, attend these live streams on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Take advantage of this free hour. You may make a little bit of money. And as always, God bless. I will see everybody on YouTube on Friday. I'm out.